Hello, dear friends, and welcome to our new moon in Sagittarius pick a pile reading. Today we are using Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck and the Making Magic Oracle deck. I'm so glad to have you here. I haven't had a reading like this in a really long time, so I feel privileged to hold space for all of you because honestly, I literally can't remember the last time Spirit meticulously had me put something together in this manner. That's why the title of this is Healing the Unforgetting Heart. And I listened to a lot of beautiful meditative music before this, and the one right before this, or I should say the second to the one before this, I thought, I'm going to hit play. The last one was Healing Waters. I was like, oh, isn't that beautiful? We're talking about healing the unforgetting heart. And then the one right before I hit play, they said, no, let it go. And then I looked down, the music started, and I looked down, and the title of the song was I Am Willing. I am willing. Before you are three piles. Pile number 1, the goddess. Pile number 2, fire. Pile number 3, Awen, 3 rays of light. And because these are so beautifully, intensively awesome, I am not going to say any more. These are basically, the only thing Spirit wants me to say is these are messages from Spirit, our spirit guides, whatever you believe in, whatever labels, terminology that you use. These are messages from the universe talking to us about a brand new start. A new moon in Sagittarius is a beautiful, beautiful energy. Research Sagittarius, fire energy, research all of that on your own, because I'm going to jump into pile 1. So I'll see you over there at your pile. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Blessed be. Oh. Pile number 1, your angel number is 222. So powerful. I'm so excited to read for you guys. I pulled the cards, but I've only seen a few as I was putting the piles together, but I didn't see any of the larger cards, the Believe in Your Own Magic. So I'm super, super excited. When I was shuffling, some flew out, and then I saw some come back in. So I'm just telling you this because I feel like, or I should say I'm excited because I have a feeling that at least one of those cards is tied to your pile. So let's just jump on in here, okay? So we have, number 32, the escapist. The escapist. Come home to yourself. Ooh, I feel this card hard. Okay. The next card is number 33. Ooh, look at that. In order even. Nostalgia. Okay. Focus on the here and now. That is a wonderful message for all of us. That is a really powerful message for all of us, to focus on the here and now. And the next card is number 27, which justice is coming. Justice is coming. Okay, so also karma's been a really big topic for the collective for quite some months now. I mean, it's always ever present, right? But karma is so real, and none of us can escape it, right? Speaking of the escapist card, we cannot escape karma. It's real, it exists. Everything we do and we say comes back to us. And it's interesting because I feel like even when we're putting out good energy, we mean that at the time, right? Like we absolutely mean it. But then when something comes up, right, it just takes us right back to some old place, some old pattern. I've been going through this in my own personal life, these patterns that just keep coming up. And each time we are presented with a new opportunity to treat the situation. Like what do we need to learn? Because every time it comes up, there's something else we need to see. If we keep going back to the same languaging and the same patterns, then we're not really moving forward, right? Instead of going into the somebody says or does something that they used to do, so you go into the same thing, right? And you go right back into that energy, most likely the 3D energy, because you found yourself here. You're a very powerful light worker, I believe, or at least you're someone who believes that there's something bigger than what is being presented to us in the form of government, technology, religion, whatever, what have you. You recognize that there's something more, there's something bigger, which most likely you probably are a light worker, but you may just not know it yet, right? And if witch is a terminology that doesn't feel comfortable to you, witch just means healer, and there's a lot of things, a lot of paradigms are breaking down. There are so many things that are changing and happening in front of us that it's so easy to dip back into something that feels familiar, even if it's uncomfortable. If you've never seen the movie Room, I highly recommend. I think it's Brie Larson is the main actress. It's called Room. I think it won an Oscar too, like a few years ago. But anyway, rent that movie. I mean, talk about seeing the world from one very, very limited vision of it. And then, going out into the world and seeing that it's like so much bigger than you could possibly imagine. But when we go back into certain patterns, it just takes us into that escapist mode, right? Because we're escaping back into, something else, which is, by the way, they just said, notice the fire under her ass. They're like, it's time. You can't escape anymore. Like, I feel like they're trying to say, you've been holding on to that rope, and like the fire, do you ever see like those movies where like, or the shows where like there's like a rope going across? And look at that. Are you guys, do you hear that car go by, right? Is that you? You just want to run away? You just want to run away, the escapist? I'm out of here. But going back to the rope, right? It's like, they're like, we're going to put the flame under the rope, and when it burns through, the person's going to, fall and die or whatever. Well, it's kind of like, that's what I feel like this fire under the ass is trying to show you, is that you've been hiding, you've been, saying, oh, this is okay, that's okay, or just literally living in neutral instead of, where you're meant to go. And now they're saying, yes, you were right and to do that in certain degrees, but it's off balance. It's completely off balance. And if you were drawn to more than one pile, I highly recommend you watch them. Maybe you were meant to watch all three, whichever. This is, it's only 3 piles for how many people, right, for the collective. But the collective, we realize more and more that it doesn't matter what our each individual thing is, right? It's like we are all going through very similar things because we are responding. We're realizing that we are energy, and we are responding to the energy that is being put out into the world. So right now it feels like a crazy pinball machine, with the ball going, all over the place, ping, 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 ping. And it's really uncomfortable. And the holidays, whenever you watch this, it's timeless. But in real time today, it's the new moon in Sagittarius. It's December 4th, 2021. And, the holidays are just not a super fun, comfortable place to be for everybody. Some people love it. Some people fall into the nostalgia of it, right? Some people go into the escape version of the holidays, or some, go into their witchy, they're like, oh, what am I going to wear? I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. Like, they're into it, right? Because there's all these different types of activities that are happening in December, all different. We have Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yule, it's like, it's beyond. There's so many different things we all are celebrating. And basically what it is, it is, especially in the Northern Hemisphere, we're celebrating the end of, the harvest. So it's like, now all the work is done, everything's been put away, now we can relax and rest up in the winter so that we can recharge and get ready for spring again. So in this particular situation with you guys, Spirit wants you to come home to yourself. Stop escaping into other worlds. It's okay to like read a really good book or see a movie or go hang out with a friend or go to a party. Like, that's all awesome. But at the same time, it's like, who are your friends, right? Who are your friends? I started to realize in certain things in my friends was that we were always talking about the same things. There's a Bruce Springsteen song about that, where he talks about how he goes home, to visit, and it's the same old shit, different day, you know, and how grateful he is that he escaped that, because it would have been a prison for him. He wanted to be a musician and go on the road and see the world, and, you know, and he did that. So, you know, Spirit's saying if you want to escape, that's fine, but do it by like going back to yourself, coming home to self. It's also number 32. 32. Those of you who know me are familiar know that sometimes I'll just go into accents. I'm channeling, but that was just really funny. I was like, who's that? They're like 32. Anyway, so number 5. So 5's all about change and transformation. So it's time to, instead of, you know, escaping into outer worlds, they want you to, you know, escape into your world. Maybe you want to create a new world. Instead of reading about other people's things or going out and hearing other people's stories, right? Focus on the here and the now. I love the mermaid up there, so you guys must have some mermaid energy in this pile. And then, you know, your main, or the card that you chose is the goddess card. And it's healing feminine energy. This is really powerful. I know for myself, I have been going through this as well, healing that. And I do believe that once we heal the inner goddess, because a lot of us, you know, it doesn't matter if you're male, female, whatever you identify with, on the inside, outside, all of the above, it doesn't matter. The goddess divine feminine energy is exactly that. It's feminine energy. We all have equal feminine and masculine energy. We all do. And when one of those energies is off balance, then we feel really off balance. And I'm feeling from your pile that you guys are really, you know, trying to figure out your way, but you're like, I'm just going to go hide instead. You know, I don't blame you. I mean, honestly, I do the same stuff. It's like again, those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that, you know, it's like, whatever is going on is usually what, if you're an empath or a sensitive or a light worker, you're feeling all of the energies that are happening on the planet. So most likely there are things that are going on in your life that are being highlighted, especially if you're with a partner and you're mirroring each other. I haven't watched it yet, but something came into my orbit recently from Eckhart Tolle, which was about, you know, can an awakened person still be in a relationship with a non-awakened person? I haven't watched it yet, so if I remember, I'll put it below. If not, put it in the comments and be like, hey, Lula, you know, can you tell me, you know, where did you find that? Or maybe you're meant to go search and find it yourself. I should say go and search and find it yourself, because it's always worth the journey. But if you can't find it, let me know and I'll send you the link. But I know for me personally, it's a big fat no, only because I tried. I really, really tried. I tried to have friends and family and a significant other, and it just wasn't working. Because especially if you're the only person in the group or the family at the party, whatever it is, if you're the only person there that believes in what you believe in, you know, it's a very difficult situation to be in. If you feel strong and powerful and you can handle it, then go. But if it feels off-putting and triggering and you're like, you know what, I'm feeling really sore, it's been a rough year, I don't need any more triggering this year, I'd like to, you know, then that's okay. That's when escape mode is good. You know, like when you recognize that you are in a place that you don't feel good, that is draining your energy, then that's okay. It's just spirit saying we just can't stay there too long, right? Like you need to you know, go to where you need to be. So I asked Spirit if we could pull some clarifying cards from the Making Magic Oracle deck. I love this deck. It's there's 2 forms of it, but I like this little one because it's like short and sweet and specific messages. So this says, I did it in darkness because of the new moon, but I also want you guys to be able to see your cards. So let's see here. This says, the golden energy of the sun brings fame and fortune. That's beautiful. By the way, they've been having me kind of hold off on this card, so I'm going to put this over here because I feel like that's what the witch is saying. So justice is coming. And when they say justice, it means like your time in the sun is about to happen. So if you have been working on something or you have been dreaming of doing something Maybe it's singing, maybe it's a YouTube channel, maybe it's going to Broadway. I've been feeling a lot of Broadway in New York energy. We had that in the last pick a pile reading. So, whatever it is, maybe you want to be a doctor and you're like, I'm 47 years old. I mean, I wouldn't even get out of school until I was 60. Well, that's okay because maybe you're meant to live 120. It's these limiting beliefs that have been put on us are not ours. They are not ours. They belong to our past. That's exactly, I'm going to bring the goddess over here. That's exactly what this says about the nostalgia. I don't know if you come from this family, but I came from the family where it was like, it was good enough for my father, it was good enough for his father, and it's good enough for me, it should be good enough for you. I was born and raised in the, South Side Chicago suburbs. And, basically and it doesn't matter. It's like, if you can see the city from your house, you're from Chicago. That's kind of the way it was always when we were growing up. And so, and not just that, but we were always in the city. And then I worked in the city, and then I lived in the city, and I've traveled, and I've been to all these different places. And what I started to find out was the Midwestern mentality is a real thing. Now, the irony is the Midwestern, quote unquote, Midwestern mentality lives in families all over the world. We just happen in America to call it the Midwestern mentality. And basically what that is that old, post World War II, 50s idyllic, and it's just not. And if you are somebody who, I had a friend years ago who had a penis and breasts and felt is just as much a man, just as much a woman. I've never met anyone who could rock their awesomeness the way that they did. And they were one of a kind, absolutely, without doubt. But they were raised in they even called it a cult, so I'm not saying it to be a jerk. But they were raised in a cult, and I believe in Idaho or Montana, somewhere in the middle of nowhere where, polygamy is okay. And he had multiple mothers and 20 something siblings, just kind of, but that was his world. And then, he went to Portland and went to a city and could finally be who they really were. And so, it's the only limitations you have are the old programming, even with quote unquote Christmas. I said to my partner the other day, I was like, it's weird. I'm like, I haven't even decorated for quote unquote Christmas yet. And it's December 4th. My birthday's December 13th. I'm a Christmas baby. I mean, I might as well be. I mean, my whole world in December, my birthday there was Christmas everywhere. It was everywhere, right? So it's like I'm 12 days away from Christmas, right? So that's the way it was. And so I feel like I don't know who I am right now. And then I apologize for that. And sometimes we have to have something like that, right? Talk about escapist. That's our not so, I don't want to judge or whatever, but that's our very, we don't get along with our neighbor. They shoot off guns. They're Trump supporters. He's like a good old boy. And we live right next to them, and we have to put up with that every day, day in and day out. And it's hard. So I feel you. It's like, if you're trying to move forward, but things keep pulling you back, that's when we are being, it sucks to even hear the words tested, but we are. That's when our strength and our endurance is being put to the test. And it's okay if you get pissed, but then come back out of it. Sometimes when my world collides into the reading, I know that it's meant to be there for a reason. So you hear what I'm saying with that? I don't need to embellish anymore. So one enchanted evening. Exactly. So, so what I was saying before was I have been more into the pagan life for a long time now. And I said, I don't know if I really feel Christmas so much as the whole expression of Yule, right? And Yule and Hanukkah are very similar, where it's it's like a daily thing, you light the Yule log, and it's a really cool thing. So you may even want to research that if you've been feeling like you're a witch, or, if that aligns with you. I know when I came out as a witch, I wasn't into, the religion side of being a witch, right? And it's okay if you are, but I just wasn't. It didn't sit right with me. I was more into nature. It was about nature for me. Nature, the woods are my church. And so if you're feeling like that too, it's like it could be that, maybe you need a one enchanted evening of celebrating you and your family and your whatever, and saying, like, I don't celebrate Christmas, anymore. I celebrate this. Or maybe you want to celebrate all of them. Some people, I have friends who've converted to Judaism, but they still celebrate some of the Christmas, because they want their children to know what their life was like. They don't want them to just be like, oh, you're Jewish, that's it. It's like, no, I was raised this way. Your, dad was raised this way. And so here, we're going to give you both, and then you can decide like what you want to do. And I personally feel like that's a great way to do it because it's fair. So wishes come true. And it says, rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. What were we saying about the sun? Yes. Whoop. Oh, interesting. Okay, so listen. Justice is coming. Some of you, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you feel like it's almost like you feel like you don't deserve it. And listen, this eclipse season kicked the shit out of most of us. You are not alone there. But you are going to get yours. Justice is not only coming, it's already here. Now, I'm telling you, the 1212 portal is going to be really powerful for everybody. I feel like the fairies are just going to come flying in, all the white light magic, and it's just going to feel like a really beautiful, safe place for a while. Now, listen, we have to go through more, right? This isn't an on and off switch with the awakening, and everybody's going from their own level of consciousness. Everybody is, right now, the world is in flux. But listen, wishes do come true. Your justice is coming, which that's why they're having me put it here. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. It's going to happen really fast too. And Spirit's saying it's going to happen fast when you finally say okay, these are my dreams. These are my wishes. This is what I want. You have to get really, really clear on what you want. Spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. Yes. Oh, they're so cute. They said in the middle, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. See, that's how they're having like a nice little conversation. You have to ask them for help. They're not allowed to just come in and help you. You have to ask them for help. And it's hard to do. It's hard. Some of us have a hard time even asking for spirit for help. I didn't recognize like I would, do readings for you guys or whatever, or I do my real talks and I'm like, well, I'm just saying it like it is. And then I would bring it back to positive or whatever. But then I started to realize that it is true, our words and our thoughts and how powerful they are. However, sometimes when we're in that flux, we need to be pissed because we have to work it out of our system, right? We need to cry because we need to be sad. We need to work it out of our system. We need to say to somebody, I need to talk to you and I need to tell you how I feel. And Spirit's saying you can do that in a loving way. If you need, if there, if someone came to your mind when I said that, when I channeled that from Spirit, then you know what you need to do. It may be many people. It could even be your dog. Like maybe you yelled at your dog and you need to go up and be like, hey, buddy, I'm so sorry. Animals do understand us. They do. It's hard for the human brain to process that animals know all language, but they do. They do. And it's just different. It's like they have an automatic translator or something that's really profound. But yeah, it's time to make peace with people. And they may not like what you have to say, and that's okay. Because as someone gently reminded me recently, you don't have to ask for, or you can ask for someone's forgiveness, but the main thing is just forgiving yourself. Forgiveness is a tricky thing. But however it but telling somebody how you really feel or what they did, how they hurt you, when people love you, they hear you, they listen to you, they want to listen to you because they're like, wow, I'm so sorry I hurt you. But when someone is not sorry that they hurt you and they have no remorse, then that's not a healthy situation for you. That means that they're just going to keep doing it too, Spirit said. So perseverance, the motivation to keep going despite the odds. Yes, the goddess healing energy. We're going to go over here, right? Because perseverance, this is you. I feel like this is kind of like, these are all you, right? You, quote unquote, like the energy. They're just imagery of the energy of what's happening. But they're saying only you can strike up the motivation to keep yourself going despite the odds. We can keep looking to other people to heal us, to, whatever, but nobody can heal us but ourselves. The next one is insight. Open the third eye to strengthen intuition. Before I started this, I cleansed the area with the bells, and I did it on myself as well. And when I was cleansing my chakras with the bells, when it got to my third eye, oh my gosh, it was like my hand just went nuts. And sometimes we think we know, right? Like we think we, they're asking me to put it on the witch. Okay. We think we know about our dreams and our wishes, but we need to open our third eye to connect to our witch, to connect to our powers, to our healer, to our inner healing system. This whole reading is about healing the unforgetting heart. Forgiving someone frees you from holding any anger, frustration, all of those things. You just forgive it. But that doesn't mean that you get rolled over either. Spirit's saying that, basically like you're nobody's bitch, right? But listen, you're on target. You're on target. You're almost there. You're almost there. Follow your ideal life path and follow your path now. I don't care if you started your awakening process 6 years ago and you've been a Reiki, maybe you're a medium, maybe you're all of the above, maybe you wear many hats or whatever. Spirit's saying, but that's who you awaken to in the third dimensional energy then. They're like, who are you now? Now that we are like full swing, full speed ahead, going into the 5D energy on the planet, they're like, who are you today? Just because you spent money on an education or you did this, or they're like, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's like, who are you today? And that's why I keep saying right now that I don't know who I am, because I don't, and I'm being honest about it. And I think that's what's so real. It's like we need to be honest and not lie to ourselves about, oh, I got my shit together. I'm like, no, I'm just in flux right now. I'm the butterfly and the chrysalis. Like I'm pulling myself out of it. And for myself, I know like my 50th birthday is a week away, a little over a week away. And I know I want to get my hair colored and I want to get my hair cut. And it's like I have a feeling like those little things will just kind of rejuvenate, and I'll be like, there she is. You know what I mean? Because I've reinvented myself so many times in 5 decades. And you will too. And you probably are, no matter how old you are. We reinvent ourselves every day. And just because you are one way doesn't mean you can't change tomorrow. You can change. You do not have to commit to anything. You know why? Because you're a star. Because, baby, you're a star. Might not know it now, right? You know that song from Prince? Okay, so the silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. So, yeah, I literally just heard like the silver star. They're putting it on the insight. Or interesting, Freudian slip, the silver energy. But what I heard was you're going to start seeing signs for like, you're going to see silver stars. Like whether you're at a Christmas party or you're in your car and somebody, goes by and there's a star on the card but it's silver, or like glittery silver. Like I'm feeling like this kind of glittery silver energy. And also this imagery, I feel like this imagery, there's something that's coming for you guys and you're going to know it. Or maybe you're asking questions, but Spirit's saying, don't give up yet. You're really, really close, but you'll know, and it'll be unexpected. You'll be waiting in line to get Chinese food and, maybe their food is taking too long and you're pissed because you're like, man, I just fucking want to eat. And you're just like being kind of crabby because it's been a long day. But all of a sudden, somebody's going to do something or say something and it's going to set the mood right, or you're going to laugh or something and you're going to look up and you're going to see a silver star and you're going to have some serious epiphany. Okay. Now it's timeless. These readings are timeless. So whenever you see this, it's about the silver star. I'm just talking about where we are in, you know what I'm saying? So Felix Felicitas is your next one. And it says power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. So look at that. You may even want to take a screenshot of that imagery. The power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. The next one, you guys have a lot, so I'm going to kind of power through them now. So the next one is safe and happy travel. Protection from harm when journeying. Yes. Here's another one. So if you're going to visit family, friends, or whatever, start getting real about like dressing the way you dress. Like, don't change who you are to go see people. Okay? Because I'm getting this vibe. I just got the chills all over my body. Almost like you guys are like Superman and Clark Kent. Like, you have some clothes that you wear in the city and some clothes that you wear on the country when you go home, that kind of thing. And they're saying, but you're losing something in the translation. You're forgetting who you are. So when you go on the safe and happy travel, just exactly be happy. Like, be yourself. 100% be who you are. Also, protection from harm when journeying. Look at colors like black. There's a reason why witches and goth people and, quote unquote, that kind of like energy, or those magician like energies, they wear black, because black is a really strong protection color. You can still wear black and then wear a cute little festive pin or whatever. Maybe even take on the silver star. Maybe you'll see a silver star brooch or necklace or something, or some type of jewelry, and you're like, I'm going to wear that. Whatever it is. But interestingly enough, those are the messages I got from that card. Anything else you downloaded is your message as well, right? Because there's so many people that watch these. Breaking bad habits, self-acceptance, excellent mental health, and letting go of vices. Yes, here we go. They're having me put it under the witch because self-acceptance, like we were just talking about the clothes, this means something. I feel like some of you guys are like, it's not just the escapist, it's like you're hiding, and you're even hiding from yourself. Like, maybe you are this person who's got like really like tame hair and tame, jammies, but but maybe you want to wear something different to bed, or maybe you want to be, more like this. They're like, then be that. Wear a hat like that, Be who you are. This is a strong, strong message I'm getting from you guys, which is why you picked the goddess, because you're channeling the goddess energy. You need her right now. Okay, the Philosopher's Stone, powerful manifestation of wishes and goals by harnessing universal energy. Ooh, right in the middle. I'm going to put it in the middle, universal energy. Yeah, the Philosopher's Stone. Oh, you know what? Here's some homework if you're down for this. Over the holiday season, starting now, whenever, you can watch them all the way through. You can watch one a day until Christmas. I don't care how you do it. But I heard watch the Harry Potter movies, all of them. All of them. I'd seen bits and pieces. I went with my mom once. I'd never read the books, nothing, but my mom's like, you don't need to read the books to see the movie. And I was like, isn't this like the third or fourth one? And she was like, yeah, but you'll still enjoy it. And I did, but I ended up falling asleep because I wasn't into it as much as my mom, because I didn't really follow the story. But then years later, my friend had all of them. And he's like, what do you mean you've never seen them? He's like, he just like handed it to me. And you know what was interesting is I ended up getting really sick, and I binge watched all of them for like 3 days straight. I just like, or like maybe it was like 4, I don't know, but I just binged watched it until I watched all of the movies. And I'm not kidding you, I felt so powerful afterwards. It was like it awakened my witch. And also to watch Harry grow up, to see him from a young person, and then to see, how he gets older. It's just a really cool, and how he handles things, right? And his magic. And so don't hide your magic anymore, because part of why you guys are hiding yourself is you're hiding your magic. And you can't hide your magic when you're a dragonfly, sweethearts. You beautiful souls. You bring light to the world. Yes. You bring light to the world. You're so powerful. You're a beautiful dragonfly. Channel the dragonfly energy. Anytime spirit animals come into a reading, I always push people to please, research that. Anything like that, you can just Google it, and you put in dragonfly spirit animal, spirit medicine, whichever one you're drawn to. It's so different for everybody. And here is your final message, my beautiful, beautiful pile 1, the goddess pile. Fairy magic. Yes, fairies. Respectfully work with the fairies and elementals to achieve your goals. I had a feeling when I saw the mermaid, because I feel like the mermaid are just fairies in the water, like it's kind of that kind of energy. And also, Saturn, Jupiter, I'm feeling a Jupiter energy. I'm feeling a very heavy Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo fiery energy. So I don't know if this is for you or for another person. Also, I don't know why, but my vintage bookmark wanted to come into here. Don't nag me. I'm trying to read. So whenever the bookmark wants to come in, so horse energy too. So work with the horse spirit animal. And there's always little hidden messages on the back of this one. Let's see if we can get it into focus. So copyright 1984. It's not coming into full focus, so here we go. You may want to take a screenshot. It could be the sunshine. It could be the imagery above it. You know what I mean? Thoughts. Maybe sunshine thoughts. I feel like they're saying keep your thoughts bright, right, and happy. And when you're pissed off or you're sad, be pissed off and sad, but then go to something that makes you happy and makes you laugh. And if you haven't seen The Witches of Eastwick, I highly recommend you watch it. And those of you who have seen it, you remember when they're falling and she's like, laugh, laugh, because when they laugh, they like can fly. So it's like that kind of energy. Like the fact that you guys have fairies, witches, dragonflies. I mean, your whole reading tells me that you are powerful, powerful healers. You are powerful light workers. And the way for you to heal the unforgetting heart, your beautiful heart, is you're never going to forget what happened to you. But you can forgive it, because once you grant forgiveness to others and you forgive yourself, then there's no more fear and there's no more pain and there's no more suffering. And don't forget to set your boundaries. I love you guys so much. Until next time, blessed be. Aho. Oh, and all of my information that if you're interested in any of my information, is all in the description below. I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, pile number 2. Your angel number is 3556. Welcome, 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 pile number 2. Gosh, I felt so much fire and energy from you guys, and I'm a Sagittarius myself, so I'm not going to lie, I'm really excited for this pile. I'm just going to jump right into it. Okay, so let's see what your believe in your magic cards are. I haven't seen them yet, so I'm kind of excited. Okay, so the first one is number 23, confidence. It comes with time and practice. Confidence, number 23. Oh, which is also the number 5. Also, if you were drawn to, excuse me, throat chakra, speaking your truth. I feel like somebody's trying to choke me. If you were drawn to any other piles, I highly recommend you go and watch them. There was a lot of similarities already in pile number 1. But interestingly enough, one of the cards from pile number 3 wanted to come into your reading. So whatever feels good to you, no pressure. If you only want to watch this one, that's fine. Sometimes we're pulled to one pile and then like a year later, we'll watch the same reading, but we're pulled to another pile, right? Because it's about where you are energetically. So I see here that confidence is an interesting, let's see. Okay, so confidence, it comes with time and practice. Now look at this. Swords. Now swords are all air, right? So like so if you are an air sign, or if you're having any issues with an air sign where you're having, confidence, I apologize for my neighbor. I don't know what they're doing today, but they've been up and down and up and down and up and down, so I thoroughly apologize. Also, when I looked down, it was 3737, which is also 1010, which is also the number 11. So I'm getting the vibe from you guys that a lot of angel energy, because when I see the sword as well, see how there's like fire around the sword? I feel like that reminds me of Archangel Michael, and Michael is a fire sign, and the fact that, Archangel Michael is fire. He's the element of fire. He's also the energy of the south, which is fire, right? So wow, there's so many energies talking to me. Well, you got a lot of people on your side. That's all I can tell you. You have a lot of angels, a lot of beautiful souls who watch out for you all the time. I'm getting this really strong, like almost like a protection vibe right now, like where they almost like want to kind of pull it in and protect you and take care of you. And they want you to know that too, that you are divinely protected. So Archangel Michael, call on Archangel Michael when you need protection, when you're feeling not so confident, not so great, and you're like, I need to feel your strength, Michael. Can you please lend me your strength so that I can do this task, X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. Because you have a lot of, I pulled clarifying cards from the Making Magic. It's interesting, pile number 1's energy was so different. So I apologize if I'm stammering a bit. I'm not only connecting to your energy, but also, seriously, you guys, I'm not joking. I haven't felt this many energies in a long time. Not only that, but the amethyst wants to come in. This amethyst, I'm feeling this really strong healing energy. Like they're trying to show you that, they got your back and that it's okay. You're going to be all right. I have another Believe in Your Magic card, but they don't want me to pull it out just yet. It's kind of the crescendo. So let's just jump into your clarifying cards. So fire, fire. And it says, here, let me come over here. Oops. Ooh. I was like, okay. It's not what I was doing, but I'll take it. Okay. So the element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation. Okay, so how beautiful is that when we were just talking about, they're on a journey. They look like they're on a train. They got the sun right there protecting them, right? Ra, the beautiful, like fiery energy of the sun. They've got the sword. Now, swords are air signs, like I said, but also we were saying it's Michael. So this looks like they're on a new journey, but it looks like, okay, so I'm getting a lot of different downloads from this card. Some of you, I feel like you're either about to start something brand new, or Spirit is saying like, it's time, you have to start. It's kind of like the tough love thing. We talked about this in the first one too, right? You know, sometimes Spirit has to, light a little fire under our ass, right? To get us to get moving, to get us motivated. So if you are in an uncomfortable situation right now, it's to motivate you to get the fuck out of it. And that Spirit is saying they are trying to help you get out of it. But if you're too fixated on the outcome, you're never going to hear the answer, right? Like they had me pull the fire away, because see how now it's hard to read this, right? It's hard to have renewed passion and positive transformation when we're hiding in the shadows. And, today is the new moon in Sagittarius. We're starting a brand new moon cycle. And Sagittarius, new moon in Sagittarius is, in not just my opinion, but a lot of astrologers I've heard this from a lot of different readers and astrologers, that they also feel like the new moon in Sagittarius is one of the most potent, most powerful, because of the Sagittarian energy. And if you're not familiar, you maybe you chose this because you're a fire sign, or maybe you chose this because you're Sagittarius, or maybe because it's Sagittarius season, whatever reason. But for some reason, you were drawn to the fire, which means you want something new. You're longing for something new. You're like, where is my passion? Look at their knees are to their chest. They're unsure. When somebody puts their knees to their chest like that and their arms, you can see in her face, that she's not 100% sure what's going on. But that feels safe to her, almost like in a childlike position. It's a big seat, but it's almost like she's tiny, right? Like she couldn't reach the floor, so she's feeling small and tiny. And Spirit's saying, but you're so big and beautiful, and you have so much to give and so much to share with the universe. Don't be afraid of who you are. Stand up straight, stand up proud, and say, I'm ready. I'm going to do this. Now, you may be feeling beat to shit right now from this energy, because I know I am too. But slowly, whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course, but in real time, this is December 4th, 2021. And, we've had a really fucking rough year. And every year for the last few years has been feeling like that. So, we've been pushed and pulled and expanded. And if you're feeling tired and worn out and broke down, actually, that's awesome, because that means you've been doing the work. That means that you are understanding the energy on the planet, and that you know exactly what you're meant to do. Now is the time to do it. This isn't the time to back out. This is the time to focus. Okay, so Labyrinth. Transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, enlightenment. If you go in my About section, you'll see there's a reason why I called it Lula's Labyrinth. Okay? So I'm getting that vibe from you guys as well. So go and see what labyrinth means, and go read that in my About section, and it'll make a lot of sense to you. If you don't know already, you may know, because people think that a labyrinth and a maze are the same thing, and they are not. Healing. Yes. This is healing the unforgetting heart. True healing of the mind, body, and soul. Yes, and not glazing over it. It takes time and practice, the confidence, right? Healing takes time and practice too. It doesn't seem like that, right? Like, what? What do you mean healing takes time? It does. We have to learn how to heal ourselves because we have been trained to believe to take an easy way out. Pop a pill, skip a meal, whatever. It's like, no, real true change takes time. It takes preparation. It takes, not indulging. It's about sacrifice because you have to, because you know that whatever you have been doing isn't working out for you. The festival. The festival creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. Yes. So something's coming your way. I feel like I almost said Scorpio too. So I'm feeling Scorpio energy, Sagittarius energy. That's beautiful. So I'm hearing, yes, if you've been thinking about going to a party or maybe like the festival, I'm hearing too. I just heard like the Renaissance Fair. So I don't know if some of you guys are like into that or whatever. Or I had some friends who, if you're into that, like I'm just using this as an example. So fill in the blanks for yourself. But like, if you're into something like that, they have groups and communities like everywhere. So maybe, part of your healing is you need to leave some things behind. It's time for you to go into something new, start something completely brand new. One action can change everything. Meeting one person can change everything, right? It only takes you putting yourself forward into the mix saying, I want this. I want change. Earth, getting grounded. Yes. Oh, yes. Ask the element of earth for grounding stability and strength in times of chaos. Talk about healing. That's how we transition to a higher level of enlightenment, right? Is connecting with ourselves and the earth. If you're not familiar, with pagans and, I'm only using that as a terminology because I feel like we're in quote unquote Christmas time, Yule. But this is a perfect time to, or maybe you look up to someone and you're like, hey, do you know of any parties that are going on or any festivals, they're going to celebrate Yule this year. I've never celebrated Yule. I want to see what that's like, but just putting yourself out there, having the confidence to put yourself out there. Abracadabra with wings. Fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. Yes. Okay, I'm going to put that with the festival because what did I just say? Right? Timing is everything. And abracadabra is literally like it's Hebrew for and so it is. So when you hear, magicians, witches, whatever terminology feels good, when you hear them say, and so it is, or so, and so, so be it, or whatever, it's the same thing as abracadabra. It's like you're breathing life into it. You're saying, so they're saying abracadabra with wings is like fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. It's like by putting yourself out there, you have to put yourself out there. And this is why they had me wait for this card. You're going to love this. I love being the story, like Spirit's the storyteller. I'm just, holding the cards, but dragons slay them all. Look at that. But do you see how the difference in the energy of the cards, right? Because the confidence will give you the energy to slay them all. But in order for you to do that, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You need to, right now I feel like you're seeing yourself as this, but Spirit's like, now it's time to be this. And so our last few messages are water. Work with the element of water for healing, purification, and refinement. Okay, you have fire, earth, and water. I mean, that's 3 out of the 5 elements. I mean, 4 if you earth, air, fire, water, but we know metal is also considered an element. But that's really powerful. So work with the element of water. Maybe it's time for you to, maybe you've always wanted to go visit a waterfall or, look at this. Both cards, it's a solo journey. It's a solo journey. Prosperity, a prosperous business with riches and success. Yeah, see, it's sitting there waiting for you. You just have to go and get it. Did you ever hear that old story about the guy, who goes up to heaven and he's like, God, where were you? That whole town had flooded and I was waiting for you and I was waiting for you and I was waiting for you. And he's like, yeah. And God's like, and I sent you a boat and you sent the boat away. And I sent you a helicopter, and you sent the helicopter away because you said that I was going to save you. I was trying to save you, right? And now they're dead. Because sometimes we can blindly believe in something, but it may not necessarily be exactly what it is. Does that make any sense? And I feel like they want me to leave it right there. So even though this card was the front card for pile number 3, this is your last card. Awen, the 3 rays of light, balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. Yes. Once you find the balance, even the cards right now, see, I have to bring them into balance for you, right? Once you find that inner balance within yourself, once you stop pretending to be something you're not, once the masks come off, you will feel so much better about yourself. The peace and the harmony will be natural to you. It'll be a natural way of life. You have the fire in your belly. Now it's time to act on it. Look, the sun, in both imagery, the sun is there, right? We've got the sun there and then there. And this one's really beautiful with the dragons. It's like dragons are such beautiful, wise creatures. Another spirit animal. You may even be year of the dragon if you don't know your animal. And when I looked down, it was 5051, which is also the number 11, right? We started with the 11 and now we're ending with the 11. You're an angel. I have a feeling you guys are angels. And angels are witches. They're part of the spirit realm. There are angels here on earth. Also, did you notice that I noticed this before, but I forgot about it. Number 1, we've got a sword here. So I don't know if you guys noticed that. I forgot to mention it. Or I should say, I saw the sword, but I didn't think about it until now, right? So we've got this. And see, now when she's got the sword in her bag, it's like, let's just say that this is like an x-ray, right? But it's a canvas bag, but only like a powerful person could see through there and see that she's holding the power of Archangel Michael in her bag. And once she figures out, with time and practice, through all of these things, gains her confidence, then and only then can she go and slay the dragon, right? Because now she's holding the sword. And it's not just a short sword. It's a long and it's glowing. It's a glowing sword. And look at this. I didn't notice this until now either. Here, we're only seeing one leg and one foot. I'm sure with the imagery of the card, I mean, I don't know how they designed them, but I think it's interesting, right? Because we're assuming that she has another leg and another foot. But look at here. Maybe her lack of confidence is because she's like, I'm missing something. But here she's like, you know what? I'm not missing anything. I got a prosthetic and I'm a badass. And she's like over here in gym shoes. She's like, yeah, well, I'm going to go slay the dragon in these cute little kitten heels. That's how much of a badass I am. I'm going to do it in heels. So exactly. You're so close. Don't give up now. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I love you. Spirit loves you. Have a beautiful holiday season wherever you live. And whenever you see this, it's timeless. Have a beautiful next holiday season, whatever that is. It could be Easter. I don't know. And so anyway, if you would like to find out any more about me, all of my information is below in the description box. Until then, take care of yourself. Blessed be. Oh. Welcome, pile number 3. Blessed new moon in Sagittarius. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but in real time. Today is December 4th, 2021. We are finally wrapping up this very heavy eclipse season. A very heavy year of intense changes, perversity, damage, growth, expansion, joy. It's been a lot of things. And I just want to tell you that when I was setting this up, I just felt such a connection with you. Now, if you were drawn to any other piles, I highly suggest you go and watch them as well. Each pile so far, the other 2 piles were very different, but there were some common threads in there. But your pile, I feel for you the most because, and I don't know yet, sometimes when I'm doing these readings, I can feel that it's for me too, right? Because I'm just the messenger. I'm here receiving the medicine as well. However, with you guys, it was the first pile that I really aligned where I'm like, I have a feeling this is going to be mine too, because just the controlling aspect of it. And because that is something that I'm working with as well, I really feel for you. If for any reason If for any reason this goes to another video, I don't think it's going to, but if it does, I promise I will send you the link for it, okay, to finish watching your reading. But it's pretty intense and it feels really extensive, and we're just going to jump right in. So if you chose this pile 3, you chose Awen, the 3 rays of light. It's about balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. I'm going to get right to your cards because, like I said, there's a lot coming through. So right out the gate, I'm getting feast. Slow down and celebrate yourself. Slow down and celebrate yourself. Number 29. When I was putting this together, this card flew out, and that's why I was like really curious to see if this was going to be one of the piles, because it flew out and then I put the cards back in and I didn't see them. So this is my first time seeing it as well. So they want us to slow down and celebrate yourself. I mean, look at them. First of all, look at how chill they are. Number 29, which is also the number 11. And if you were drawn to pile number 2, spoke of number 11 as well. So I'm getting a heavy angel vibe from you guys. That's why I said it about pile 2 as well. Now, mind you, have you ever heard the term all witches are angels, but not all angels are witches? Or all witches are angels, but not all angels are witches. It's kind of like that. So we have a very beautiful, diverse tribe of people, and it's ever growing every day. And I'm starting to understand like where my focus lies, and I'm realizing that we need each other so much right now, because if you feel beat to shit, honestly, I know it sucks, but at the same time, it's good. It means that you are just really, really growing and expanding at an alarming rate, a beautifully alarming rate. You're waking up really fast, and that's why you're feeling a little imbalanced, because I'm feeling the divine feminine is off. You know, no matter what you align with physically, mentally, emotionally, in terms of that, it doesn't matter. And this card in particular, this is about re-harnessing your feminine divine. That's why I say for people, sometimes you might want to watch the other piles too, like pile number 1 was about the goddess energy. And the goddess energy has been off balance on the planet for so long. The planet has been dominated by the male patriarchal, society. We just watched Black Christmas. I'd seen it before, but my husband hadn't seen it, so we watched it. And it's just like that kind of like, if you haven't seen Black Christmas, I highly recommend. If you're somebody who's like, you love, or like maybe you like Christmas, but you don't like love Christmas. Like you'd rather watch Scrooge than Miracle on 34th Street, then Black Christmas is the one for you. But there's a lot of life lessons in that as well. It was interesting to watch it again, even though it was a horror movie, and I'm an empath. I usually don't like to watch that stuff. But it was intense, the message behind it, and just, and about women taking their power back. So right now, it makes sense that if you chose this pile, that you're feeling a little off balance. And most likely it's that you need to re-empower the feminine divine inside of yourself and not give a shit. I love this deck so much. It's called Believe in Your Own Magic deck. And I love it because there's all these different representations of men and women, quote unquote, in the deck. And all sizes, shapes, ethnic groups. It doesn't matter. I love it. It's just showing that like we are all beautiful. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how you dress. It doesn't matter your size. It doesn't matter. And look at them. They're like, I'm going to have it all. I'm going to have it all. So maybe you've been indulging a little too much, a little too less. That's also been a theme, over the eclipse season. But I feel like Spirit's saying, you know what? It's time for you to really take care of yourself. So if you do feast, try and, either like if you're going to go balls out and like get like a bunch of ice cream and like junk food and stuff like that, that's fine. But then like make sure like the next day that you eat some, cabbage and cucumbers and, things that'll help kind of bring your gut back into alignment. Things like that. The self-care that I've been feeling from Spirit the requests of self-care from spirit that I've been getting is just the balance part of it. It's not that they don't want us to never have anything or indulge ourselves, but they're saying, but be mindful of it, because you can just as easily, like, my partner just went to the store, and it's like, you can either buy Cheetos, brand Cheetos, that's like, God knows where they got their corn and, whatever. And it's not like even real cheese, or you can go and get, like, what we get is like Luke's organic Cheetos. And it's not like being like, I'm not trying to food shame people. I'm just saying, like, I like my Cheetos too, right? Like, we all like our, whatever. But at the same time, Ed's going to go to Trader Joe's tomorrow. And I was just like, make sure you get my gut buster. Trader Joe's has this really good sauerkraut with, I think it's English cucumbers or something. And it's so good. And it's like, so that I know, like, I'm going to have that treat, but then, I'm going to eat really healthy right after that. But having those substitutions are important, indulging yourself, but not to the point where you're hurting yourself. Okay, so I also asked Spirit if we can have some clarifying cards. And so we are pulling also from the Making Magic Oracle deck. And the first one we pulled is protection. Ooh, this is a biggie for you guys. Strong protective magic for the family and the home. Also, do you notice that she's wearing black shoes, black pants, and a black shirt? That's why they're having me put it right here. Black, we spoke about this in one of the other piles as well. Black is a really powerful protection color. You can still be glittery and gold and beautiful, like with jewelry and scarves and, whatever. But I mean, even if I wanted to wear, like, red's a really good protection color too. Green for money, like, you can go on and on. But at least when I did that, I tried to wear like a black bra and underwear, so that, like, at my core, I was protected, even if other people couldn't see it. So if you're somebody who doesn't like wearing black, then just wear black undergarments, or like wear more crystals and jewelries. And now listen, we need nothing. We came into this earth completely naked. We obviously don't need clothes and jewelry and stuff to protect us, or crystals or any of that stuff. But at the same time, the way that the world is right now, every bit helps. So if you're somebody who hasn't completely grounded yourself and you're off balance, then it may be a little bit more challenging for you to protect your energy. So Spirit's just saying, seek that out. Maybe it's time to get a tattoo of protection. Like, I was thinking that the other day, like, I've been wanting to go away for my birthday so bad, but the truth is I've wanted certain tattoos for a really long time. And I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll just get a new tattoo, like, maybe it's time for me to, blah, 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 blah. So it's the same for you. Like, this is a mass reading. So it's like whatever, you're drawn to. The Tree of Life, true wisdom and making good choices in life. Exactly what we were just saying. They're not saying they want to take away things that you like, right? It's just, doing it in a way that's healthy for you. And if you know something isn't healthy for you, it's like, or if you're getting a vibe that you shouldn't do something, then listen to that. Now we're going to pull the next oracle card. This, actually, you guys only pulled two, and this one is the Garden. And look at this beautiful card. It's also number 15. And bring it back here so you can really see it. Something lovely will grow from this. And you see, like, in their hands, how they have the little flower, and you can see, like, the little magic energy around it. I purposely did the reading dark because of the new moon in Sagittarius. I felt like I really wanted to honor Lilith in a way that, like, without that energy, where would we be? Like, we need that. We need the light and the dark. It's all about balance. And see, and look at here. She's got her hair pulled back tight, and she's kind of chill. And here she's like a little more carefree. Here I feel like she's a little more, protected, right? She's protecting herself, which is good. But also I'm hearing from Spirit that this group, like, you guys are a really light, beautiful energy. Nature, getting out into nature. It's one thing to protect yourself with stone, right? Like, and the other card, she's protecting herself. Well, she's also, if you look at this card, it's like the doorway. And it's like, what is that doorway? Is that the doorway to your home? Is that the doorway for your dreams? Are you standing in the way of your own, like, you're protecting things, which is great. But if you're just hoarding, right, and you're not sharing, your magic, right? You're hoarding your gifts and your magic. She's just manifesting shit left and right. She's just manifesting shit left and right. But Spirit's saying, yeah, but there's also a point where it's like, you know, if you're not doing anything with it, then how can, you know, your garden grow? So let's get a few more clarifiers here. The elements. Oh, perfect. Exactly, right? So the elements of fire, air, earth, and water combine to create powerful protective boundaries, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. Yes. The true wisdom in making good choices is the same with the elements, right? Using the elements to help us, to ground us, to get us focused. Spiritual, mental, right? Because they call it the spiritual body, the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body. Because even though, you know, the elements are tangible, right? We can feel fire, it burns. We can feel the air on our face blow across. We can feel the earth under our feet. We can feel water flow through our hands, right? But combining those elements together, you can make magic, right? Because when you take earth and water and you mix it together, you make mud, you make cement, right? You make it, you put something together. Fire, air, but it can also be dangerous, right? So fire keeps us warm, but if somebody starts a fire on a windy day in the summer when everything is burned, right? That's how fires start, because somebody was being careless with fire. So fire is a wonderful protector, keeps us warm, it keeps us safe. If you're in the Game of Thrones, we just watched it again, right? It will burn the dead, right? Right? It'll be there to protect you, but at the same time, it can kill you. Because if the fire goes the wrong way and sets your house on fire, there's nothing you can do. So, you know, we need to respect and honor the elements and honor what they do for us, especially in the protective energy. So the next one we have is little luxuries. Little luxuries generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. Exactly, right? She says just little luxuries, sweet treats, you know, something. Maybe you just need to honor yourself. Give yourself a little break. Maybe you need to buy a new plant. Treat yourself. Treat yourself. Oh, air. What were we just saying? Oh, my goodness. Yes. Work with the element of air to cut through to the core of a situation and see the truth. So listen, Spirit just had me recognize we're going to put this here right now. The sword. So swords in the tarot are all about their air signs. It's air energy, but it's also about cutting through the bullshit. So I think it's interesting that she's got the sword there, right? But look at how peaceful she is. She's got her little third eye. Her third eye is open. She's working with the elements. Something lovely is going to grow from this. But working with the elements is obviously, and maybe you're an air sign. And then our last card, our piece de resistance, is the Trinket 5. 555. Fives are all about change and transformation. Look we have a 1 and a 5 up here, which is also the number 6. Next year, 2022, is a number 6. So we've got 11, and we got 29 and 15, and 11 and 6. And then we've got, what is 5 times 3? 15. What's 5 and 1? 6, right? So manifesting money and income. And the best way for you to do that is living your true life, your true self, working with the elements, and stop running away from who you are, Spirit's saying. I'm getting that really, really strong. Stop running away from who you are. It's time for you to connect the spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional bodies all together. You are here on earth. Even if you are an earth angel, you know, you have a place. There's a reason why you're here. And I love that. I almost feel like this is like the dual sides of you. And again, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It's just the energies, right? It's almost like the shadow and the light. Like she's over here. She's even has shadow behind her, right? Like even though it's a purple. I mean, it's interesting because Spirit just showed me that technically it isn't a door behind her. It's, you know, a beautiful, you know, what do they call that? Like a tapestry. but it looks like a doorway and a gateway, doesn't it? And look at her cup of wine, like knocked over. But it's like when they talk about the slow down here, I think what's interesting about that is, it's like that person who drinks too much. That just happened recently to somebody I know. They drank too much. They were having a good old time. They were dancing and they fell and got really hurt. And, you know, and by doing that, they actually were supposed to start a new job. I don't know what happened. I haven't talked to them, but like they just partied too much. They had too much of a good time, and that like affected. It was like a ripple effect where they couldn't go to the new job. They had to have somebody come and stay with them to help take care of them because they couldn't walk. They like hurt their back really bad. They slipped and fell and hurt their back. So, you know what I mean? It's like, it's time for us to really slow down. It's okay to celebrate yourself. It's okay to have a good time, but don't overdo it, because this is the time where spirit is trying to get us to really, really focus. I mean, this imagery is calling to me right now. So, it's like the elements are saying, work with them. It's time, and maybe like enjoy this festivities, but, have a good time. But at the end of it, it's time for you to get back to who you really are. Somebody who loves being in the elements, being outside, being connected to, their inner magic, who tells the truth, who's not afraid to be who they are. I feel like for some of you, you're like hiding behind this badass facade, like this exterior. And it's so funny because I just heard, well, if this one's for me, I totally, this resonates for me too. Because it's so much easier to, to be like, yeah, I'm not going to feel, I'm not going to, fuck you, trust me, I get it. It's so much easier to be that way. But when you know that you're actually this way, like for myself, like I know I'm really gentle. I'm actually a very gentle, loving soul. And I feel like you guys are the same. But you're protecting yourself. And it's okay to protect yourself, but don't protect yourself to a point that you're isolating yourself. Okay? So that's it, you guys. Those are your messages. I hope they helped. And like I said, if you were drawn to the other piles, then I highly recommend you go watch those as well. So until next time, if you would like to know anything further about me, or if you're interested in connecting on another level, or gifting anything to the tribe, all of the information is below in the description. Until then, take good care of yourselves. I love you so much. Blessed be. Aho. Bye.